to do an example of intersecting two sets together and ending up with an answer that's going to be, in this case, empty. You're not supposed to know that beforehand, but that's the way this one's going to turn out. So we're going to take negative 4x minus 1 is less than 3, and we're going to intersect it with the word and. The second inequality is negative x minus 2 is greater than 3. And we're going to follow these steps when we do this. Step 1, simplify inequalities. Okay, to simplify an inequality means to get x alone on the left side. So let's take the first one. Negative 4x minus 1 is less than 3. We want to get x alone, so first we'll eliminate the negative 1 by adding 1 to both sides. That leaves negative 4x is less than 4. And then we're going to divide both sides by the coefficient negative 4. But you know what happens when we do that? Since we're dividing both sides by a negative number, it's going to flip the direction of our inequality. That's because when you multiply or divide by a negative number, you flip the direction. So this becomes x greater than, a positive over a negative is a negative, 4 over 4 is 1. And then we have the and, or this upside down cup symbol. Now we'll simplify the second inequality, isolating x on the left side. First we'll add 2 to both sides to move it over. And that gives us negative x is greater than 5. And finally, we'll eliminate the coefficient of negative x by dividing both sides by that coefficient, which is negative 1. So we just divide it again by a negative number, which flips the direction of your inequality. Okay, so this becomes a positive x is less than a negative 5. And of course this symbol comes all the way down, the intersection symbol. Now we're going to stack number lines. Step 2, stack number lines. Okay, so we'll draw the first inequality. X is greater than negative 1, and beside that we'll draw a number line. Then below that we'll write the second inequality, the simplified version. X is less than negative 5, and there's that number line. And then together we're going to take the intersection, so we'll draw the upside down cup, indicating that this will be an intersection. Now the important numbers are going to be negative 1 and negative 5. Negative 5 is smaller, so let's put it over here on the left. Stack it all the way down. And the negative 1, that's a larger number, put it on the right, stacking it lined up all the way down. Our final graph is going to be our solution. Okay, so on the first number line we'll graph all values of x that are greater than negative 1. That gives me this, with an arrow. And no equal portion in our inequality, so that means we get a round bracket. So all numbers greater than negative 1, but not including negative 1, is graphed here. Now the second graph, we're going to shade all values less than negative 5 with an arrow, and no equal portion, so we get a round bracket here. So here we have a picture of all values of x that are smaller than negative 5. Now for the intersection, we only shade the region that has shading above in both of the two inequalities. So you see in the region of x values smaller than negative 5, we only have the second inequality including x values in that region. So we do not have the situation that values of x less than negative 5 live in both of the sets. Therefore, it will not be in the intersection. Let's look at values of x greater than negative 1, to the right of negative 1. Only the first set includes x values greater than negative 1, not the second set. So it's not going to be a common values for both sets, so it will not be in the intersection. And of course in the middle between x equals negative 5 and x equals negative 1, there's no shading anywhere, so obviously there's no shading in the intersection. So once again, remember, to be in the intersection, the values in the intersection, in this case shaded values of x, have to live simultaneously in both of the sets above. And none of that doesn't happen for any x values, so I don't shade anywhere. So my answer is empty set, which is symbolically represented by a 0 with an x through it. And what it means is there are no elements in common in these sets. The answer is empty set.